History is shaped by powerful people: kings, emperors, presidents, dictators, leaders whose decisions changed the course of nations and reshaped the world. Some built great empires, some started devastating wars, others inspired revolutions that changed history forever. But there's one thing they all had in common: none of them lived forever. In fact, many never lived long enough to see the full consequences of their own actions. And some met endings so strange, so unexpected, that even centuries later, historians are still trying to separate fact from legend. One ruler may have died from a mysterious illness, another reportedly choked on his own blood after a wedding feast. One emperor drowned while leading one of history's greatest military expeditions, and another became famous for eating far too much dessert. In this series, we uncover the extraordinary and sometimes unbelievable final moments of the people who shaped our world. Today's story begins with rulers whose deaths proved that no amount of power can outrun fate. Let's begin. Imagine conquering most of the known world before your 33rd birthday. That was the life of Alexander the Great. By the age of 30, he had defeated the mighty Persian Empire, marched through Egypt, crossed towering mountain ranges, and pushed his armies all the way to the edge of India. To his soldiers, he seemed invincible. To his enemies, unstoppable. It was said that wherever Alexander marched, history followed. But in the summer of 323 BC, everything changed. Alexander arrived in the ancient city of Babylon, the glittering heart of his empire. The campaigns were over. For the first time in years, there was no battle to fight. Instead, there were celebrations, banquets, wine, plans for even greater conquests. According to ancient historians, Alexander attended a long night of feasting with his generals. Then, something went terribly wrong. Not long afterward, he developed a high fever. At first, no one panicked. Great kings became sick from time to time. Surely Alexander would recover, just as he always had. But each passing day brought worse news. The fever grew stronger. He became weaker. Ancient accounts describe intense pain and a gradual loss of strength until he could no longer lead his men. Eventually, he reportedly lost the ability to speak. Outside the palace, thousands of loyal soldiers gathered, desperate for news. Many had followed Alexander across deserts, mountains, and battlefields for more than a decade. Now they waited in silence as the greatest conqueror of their age fought an enemy no sword could defeat. 12 days after falling ill, Alexander was dead. He was just 32 years old. But the greatest mystery wasn't that he died. It was how he died. For more than 2,000 years, historians and doctors have argued over the cause. Some believe he succumbed to diseases such as malaria or typhoid fever. Others have suggested illnesses like acute pancreatitis or a rare neurological disorder. And because Alexander had powerful rivals, theories of poisoning have persisted since antiquity, though no convincing evidence has ever proved them. Then there's perhaps the strangest claim of all. Several ancient sources reported that Alexander's body showed little sign of decomposition for days after his death. Some modern researchers have suggested this might be explained by a rare condition that can make a person appear dead while they are still alive, though many historians believe the ancient accounts were exaggerated or symbolic. The truth may never be known. The man who conquered nearly the entire known world left behind one final battle that history still hasn't won. And while Alexander's death remains one of history's greatest mysteries, the next ruler's fate is even more unbelievable. Because the man who brought the Roman Empire to its knees didn't die in battle. He died on the happiest night of his life.